So what we'll do today is I brought Noah in to talk a little bit about the 3-line experience. Because if you know a 3 or you are a 3, then you know that this 3-line in your profile line is a thing. It's definitely a thing. And when I first found out that I was a 3 and I read about it and I went all in on it, I was like, damn, I don't want to be a 3. I just really don't want to be a 3. It sounds like a miserable lot. And I have already had such a bad experience with my 3-line experimental life that I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And what I found out about the 3-line was that it's a choice. It's a choice for your experiences, for your experiments, and your authority will never take you to an experiment that is not for your greatest and highest good. So.
All right. So yeah,
okay. I'm done talking.
That's where we're going. We're still going to wait a few little minutes.
Well, then why'd you interrupt me?
What's going on? Michelle's in here. I want to say hi to Michelle. She's a 1-3 MG.
Oh, yes. Michelle has an appointment with me later this month.
Oh, nice.
Lucy's here. Hey, girl. Yep.
So we'll probably give it one more minute and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes.
Yeah. So, okay. What I was saying was.
No one's in here yet. I want you to spill all your knowledge, but no one's in here.
Oh, well, but they'll be watching later on the replay. That's true. I do that because there's so much I want to share with everybody.
Yeah.
Like on the daily, we're having these freaking breakouts, which reminds me, at the end of this, we have a big announcement. So you don't want to miss at the end of this IG live, like stay to the end because I'll stop there.
Yeah.
I'll stop there.
Now, if you're watching this as a recording and you missed us going live, make sure to just turn on notifications for the lives. If you don't want all of the notifications, you can just put notify for lives only. I know those can get a little in your face sometimes, but yeah, don't miss. It's Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. We usually go for about 30 minutes.
We may go longer if you guys want us to, but I know 30 minutes is.
All right. Well, Lucy's ready and fired up.
Excited to learn more.
Okay.
Lucy's my projector
All
client.
right. Well, I think we've got a few people in here and ready to go.
I was going to say, do you want me to pull up your chart, honey, while we're talking?
I mean, sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pull it up while we're talking. So why don't you go ahead and give everyone, well, we have one question. Do you want to do questions first or do you want to talk about the 3-line?
I love questions. So just give me, we can start with a bomb.
Okay. So I don't see any questions there.
No.
So if you guys have questions, bring it. Okay. We are going to bust through your business money blocks in half an hour. I promise you we will. Okay. So the first question I got on my Instagram stories, which I thought was great to bring here is, how do you find consistency in your business without feeling like it's hard to stay consistent?
Oh, that's a good question.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
I know.
Before I got involved with like this human design stuff and my mom in general, I had all the business ideas, right? I was going to start XYZ companies and I was going to do this and that, but I never held on to them for longer than a week. I even got licensed as an insurance agent and I went and did that for a while, made a couple sales, and as a projector, that's just too much to even be consistent with.
Yeah,
walking into other people's homes, but that's a side story. So yeah, it's hard. But usually what it means is you're probably just looking in the wrong area. So you want to, as a projector, you can audit. You're very good at auditing things.
Well, so I don't know if she's a projector who asked this question.
Okay, well then let me just amend it to whoever you are.
Right.
You can, projectors have the natural just ability to audit things, but everyone knows how to audit whether something's working or not. So it can be broad that way. So for consistency, just where do you become inconsistent? At what point? And then say, okay, well, why am I being inconsistent? How do I actually feel about that task? Maybe it's when it's time for you to create subscription links in Stripe or something like that. And you go, damn, I just don't want to do that. Well, why not? And maybe outsource it. And or sometimes if you're an energy type, you might just have to push through it for a little bit until you put a plan out to outsource it. So that way you can put energy towards it. And you know it's only for a temporary amount of time, but audit where you become inconsistent.
I love that. It's so true, because I remember, I'm an MG, and I remember thinking, I don't think I can be consistent with anything. Like, I'm always into other things. And then I looked back on my life and I was like, oh no, you've been consistent with a lot of things, but only the things you truly loved, like being a mother and showing up for this thing or that thing, my family most of the time. Like, I want you to just go back on your life and ask yourself, where have I been consistent? What was the difference in that versus now? Because your business should not feel hard to go into, right?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of said this last week, like business is only as hard as you make it, because it's your business. So the thing that we kind of talked about overwhelm before, and on one of your last podcasts, was that if you're, overwhelm and inconsistency can kind of be similar in that the sense of you're trying to rush something, or you're not doing it in accordance with your alignment or design, or something is out of whack. You're trying to apply someone else's tactic to your game, to your strategy.
That's it. That's when being consistent is hard. Because there's a lot of noise out there, you guys, on how you should be building a business and what you should be doing. And it's not your noise. It's not your noise. And you're thinking it has to be the way you do it, or else where the people come from. So-and-so did it this way, so it's got to be that way. And that's just not how it works.
Real quick, I see you pulled up the chart.
Yeah, I did.
But Christine says she's an MG and she can resonate with being inconsistent with a lot of things.
Yeah. Hello. But the one thing I am never inconsistent on is money. And I like money, and I like a lot of it. That's another part of the 3 line, is we like money. So
material.
One of the taglines I thought of, and I'm going to say it, is we've trialed and error money, so you don't have to.
She's hilarious. Christine, if you have something actually that maybe I don't know, I just feel called to ask you, if you want some help on something that you're inconsistent with currently, feel free. This is the space.
Lucy liked my tagline.
Yeah, I know. It's a great tagline.
It is. I was thinking that. I thought, oh my God, it's the truth. Because I remember thinking, oh, I'm trialing and erroring business. This is not good.
No. Yeah.
And now, knowing what I know, it's like, oh no, I have to do it that way so that I make a fuck ton of money. Like, it has to be that way. But then I tell you all how you do it without having to go through everything that I went through. So I think we've kind of tied up the consistency one, have we?
I mean, sure. Yeah. Unless someone has a question. I think
the MG, not being consistent.
You've got the chart pulled up. So I just kind of wanted to know where you wanted to take that. So I'm a 3-5 splenic projector.
Yeah.
So I have that 3 that is kind of going to be the basis around the conversation today. Before that, we've got MG, and I feel I want to do like 3 different side hustles, but after my full-time job, I feel too tired to do anything outside of mom life. I feel that one even as a projector.
But she's an MG too.
Yeah, no, I feel it. Even as someone who has all the energy, I feel you for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you something. I think it was Jess who said that. Just do the damn thing. I think it was her handle. I want to tell you something. It's a season. Being a mother with young children, it's a season. Okay. Do what you can in the season that you're in. That's all. Money will come. You don't have to force money to come. People think they have to force money to come.
Yeah.
You don't. You get to open an offer, say, here it is, and collect money for it. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Now, somebody did ask.
Yeah, it was Christine. She says she's inconsistent a lot with social media. We were talking about that literally yesterday with someone.
Yeah. Yeah. So in my hot seat coaching, if you want to be on one of those, get your mind blown, head over to the link in the show notes and register for a spot. If you don't see any spots, we are opening up more. I think they sold out in one day. not sold out. It's free.
Yeah, they're free.
Filled up in one
Yeah,
day.
they filled. Yeah, with these hot seat, for those who don't know, it's just 30 minutes. Bring a question or a problem you have, and she's gonna obliterate it.
Obliterate it.
I watched it in action yesterday, and
He was proud of me.
it's just like, yeah, no more sales calls. Like, let's just help people and just see who wants to join the team, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
So
what it's
it
becoming,
makes it
my
perfectly.
friends.
So let's do the social media
Okay, yes.
real quick, because
Yes.
it's literally what we said yesterday.
Yes. I think everybody has this problem.
So social media, what'd you say about it? You said
Okay,
something
so
great
what
about
I
the energy
said
about it.
was the reason she goes, the client goes, do you see anything in my chart that would like repel me from social media? And I'm like, yeah, your age, you're 43. Here's the thing. Social media, the reason you don't like it is because you're letting it use you. You are not using social media as a tool to get you what you want. Right? So of course, going in every day to be consistent and showing up to spread your value is like, oh God, because you haven't created it as a place of, I get to actually engage with the people who I like to engage with. Like, I treat my social media as my business card. It's my business card. It's my turf. It's who I want to talk to. I don't follow anybody who triggers me or makes me feel like I need to compare my business. I don't, what else do I do on my social media? I'll tell them what I do. And I don't care what everybody thinks either. If I don't follow you, I don't care. I follow my clients and I follow the things that actually bring me joy. And so that's what you have to think about with social media, is like, that's your little corner of the web. For you to be the person you want to be, like in person, really. And I just say 30 minutes every day of like really building relationships. If you are starting just from, by the way, everybody starts with nobody to talk to on social media.
Yeah.
So, and I had a lot of people to talk to, and my account was just taken. And here we are in the new account with like 200 and something people. That doesn't matter. You're creating the energy that you're putting into social media matters. If you are going in thinking nobody wants to hear what I have to say, everyone's just a hater, or what are they going to think? What are they going to say? If you're doing that, then that's who you're going to attract. But if you go in it thinking like, you're welcome for what I just posted today.
Makes it a little more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the comparison that was used yesterday was writing a letter. Like, the person likes to write handwritten letters better because subconsciously, she didn't know this at the time. She kind of does. It feels it's more personal. You put more of your energy into it. The love actually comes through. Social media, it's very easy for that to just feel like it's walling off any interpersonalities, because it can, and it does actively with almost everyone that uses it. But you just can't use it that way. You have to understand that every time you post something, don't just post something to post. You're writing a letter.
That is so true, Noah.
Christine says she's 47, so it makes sense, you know?
I'm telling you, it was really difficult for me to get into, and the kids younger, I mean, they were like, yeah, this is it. And I was like,
Yeah.
That really sucks.
It's a new language.
It is a new language.
It's a new language, but it's not hard to learn. You just need to get your, everyone says it, if you past a certain age point, if you're born, earlier than the 90s, you just kind of have that wall and you're not able to. You just have to understand that it's hard, it's new, and you just have to learn it, but put your personal energy into it. We see social media as something that we look at how everyone else is doing social media and we think we have to do it that way.
Nope.
You do it your way. So Christina, I think if you just take a second to reapproach your social media strategy with, how do I want my social media to go? Just do that. If you have to unfollow everyone or make a new account, I know it seems kind of scary, but you know that it can be that dramatic. You don't need to make it that dramatic though. So I think she knows that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, I mean, should we read there was some stuff up there.
Yeah, I think we're all right.
Okay.
So what about the 3 line did we want to talk about?
Okay.
Today?
So I want to know, honey, will you, because I kept saying, Noah, you're a 3 line. This is what happens. But then it was like, almost like, I think it was either this week or last week where you were
A
like,
few days ago.
it was just a few days ago.
It was last Friday.
Where you were like, this is very deep, this 3 line thing with me. What did you realize about yourself that you had been, I feel like it was like you realized you were in a lower frequency of the 3 line?
Yeah, so Michelle just acknowledged me. Thank you, Michelle. I have to make sure I put that out because I need my acknowledgement.
Yay.
So
I'm glad you got it.
yeah, so I listened to an hour-long Ra Uruhu video on the 3 line.
On YouTube or what?
On YouTube, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I just knew that I had the 3 line because I was looking at my chart, and I said, all right, well, what is this? Because it says martyr. And I'm like, Jesus.
The words are like,
and even the word alone, I was like, damn, that's like martyr is you sacrifice basically yourself and you go into like a poor me almost. And you sacrifice yourself and you adopt that so that maybe people will see you in a higher light.
Oh, that's so true.
You know, that's just what a martyr is. And so that alone, I was like, damn, I know that applies to me. And so I went into the 3 line thing, and yeah, I learned all about it. And the biggest one for me is I do have a lot of self-doubt, failure talk in my head, or have up until that point. Because I always was like, damn, I messed that up, or shit, I wasn't able to deliver on this. And am I even capable to do this or that? You know, it's always like come from like an insecurity place. And literally last Friday, it was just like, instead of that, change it to learning. And then with a 3 line, as 3 line beings, there is no such thing as failure. In any context version of that word or meaning you want to give it, there's no such thing for us. It's just constant learning and discovery. And that is how I was able to literally turn on a dime.
Turn on a dime. And the beautiful part was all week I've been noticing him just saying things in a new light. Like I'll say, I'm worried about, and he's like, no, Mom, you're not worried about something. You're aware of something. So just changing that word, like instead of me always going, okay, guys, I'm really worried, blah, blah, blah. Instead of saying the word worry, I'm changing it to, I am aware of what could potentially happen. Yeah. And by doing that with our words, we are increasing the frequency of our magnetism. So one of the things I wanted you to talk about was like the guilt part of the 3 line, because I think a lot of like, I don't know that we're even aware that we do carry a lot of guilt, like for maybe failing in the past. Like some of my clients have said to me, like, I'm afraid to borrow money to work with you because I have seen my dad go into bankruptcy or whatever. And like the experience was so bad that they just are fearful to move forward.
Well, you just got to understand that I like you got to separate yourself from the guilt. Okay. Because yes, we have that line, that 3 line, but what I learned really quickly was that that's not what it's supposed to be. That's just how it comes in if you have a certain type of upbringing or just conditioning. You know, I was always a straight A student, you know, elementary, middle, and high school. I got all the good grades, and I felt extremely guilty based off of pressure around school, needing to know what you wanted to do, blah, 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 everything entailed with that. And that comes with a lot of guilt. And then also too,
like guilt because the school expected something,
because you're not doing something right. It's not about the school. It's just I'm using that as an example.
Yeah.
But apply it to literally everything.
Yeah.
And it's just, you apply the guilt because you're not doing something right. And doing something right does not exist for 3 lines. We can't do anything right because we can't do anything wrong either.
Jig is up. Yeah. Can't do anything wrong. I want to say something about this whole doing it right. The entire first year of my business, I was like, is this right? And I even joined a mastermind because I'm like, I just want to know if I'm doing it right. And I realized very quickly, there is no right way to do it. There is your way to do it. And along the way, you are going to find out what way is right for you by all the ways that are not the way that it is for you. So
That's it.
I just wanted to point that out.
That's it. So use it as an opportunity for discovering new information. You know what I mean? The 3 line is just makes us super hypersensitive to learning everything. So and that's why we're like, damn, I'm always messing something up, because you're always learning something. Other people just don't internalize it that way if they don't have the 3 lines. So I said this to you yesterday, and I was just like, you have to just be nicer to yourself.
He's my coach. He's literally my coach. I don't need a coach. I have him.
Yeah.
The value that he brings to me, like, not just because I get to love him as my like son and my baby, but like as a business owner trying to change people's lives, the value you bring me, honey, it blows me away, because
I appreciate that.
Just him saying that, like, you need to be nicer to yourself, Mom. I was like,
oh yeah,
you're right. That's what I tell all my clients.
Yeah. We just get inundated with so much wealth of knowledge on this chart I'm looking at. There's words and numbers and colors and arrows and everything all over the place. And yeah, it's easy to that literally all we're talking about is one number at the top of the chart, and we got so much more to go. So
yeah,
there's a lot to it. Appreciate it, Michelle. Thank you. Yeah, I resonated. Oh man, the resonation was when I learned the 3, just so much truth. If you have a question about, maybe something personal that you go with, if the 3 is coming up for you, I want you guys to bring it all up.
Yeah,
Because we
ask all the questions.
We all have separate experiences with our own 3 lines. So, because there's a couple other words, like it's like guilt, martyr, failure,
experimenter is one of them.
Yeah, but that's the higher frequency version of it.
That's true.
There's like 4 or 5 different lower frequency words that are attributed with the 3 line, and me specifically was just martyr and guilt. But there were like 3 or 4 others.
But see, guys, this is blowing me away. Like, he's not sitting there studying a book for years or going into a certification course to learn this about himself. He's like, he listens to an hour lecture by Ra, and he's like, he assumes all of it's already true, and then goes in and says, now, how exactly
does it apply?
Is this applying to me?
Yeah.
And then he obliterates it right away. He doesn't sit and dwell in it. And did I even read it right? Did Ross say this right? Is it right? Is this the way it is for everybody?
Yeah.
He's not doing that.
And I also think that's where the be nice to yourself part comes in, because as a splenic projector, those kinds of things come very natural to me. So I turn on a dime. That doesn't mean that that's how you're going to be. That's not good or bad. It's just how it is.
That's very,
I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
Michelle says a fear of failure is really hard to bust through, and I feel it holds me back. Well,
fear of failure.
It does.
That holds a lot of people back. Let's talk about that, because that's what we talked with Dad with last night too. The fear.
Yeah. So breaking through the fear. So what your 3 line is doing is it's actually your ego and your 3 line working in tandem here, because your ego is keeping you from experiencing the low frequency of the 3. Because that's what you, as a 3 line, you're already assuming that there's going to be something bad on the other end. There's going to be guilt associated, because that's how you've associated every learning thing in the past, is it's always been guilty. So your ego's trying to protect you, but the ego doesn't have reasoning or logic. It just knows what you've been doing energetically and tries to keep you from doing it potentially in the future. It doesn't know that human design and you're going to see it as a learning now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't know that. The ego is a powerful source, but it's not smart.
We need to caption that. The ego is a powerful source, but it is not smart.
Yeah.
I I need to write that down. Okay, go ahead, honey.
Okay. So yeah, you just you have to, I know it's cliche, I know it is, but when you break through the fear, like, one, you have to do it. But also you can ask yourself, you don't just have to do it. You can ask yourself, why am I so scared? Identify, isolate the 3 line in it. Be like, okay, why am I scared? What's the decision I'm making? Well, I need to hire somebody and I don't want to move forward, or I need to post on social media and I don't want to do that. Why am I scared? Because is there some sort of guilt or fear? Fear was one of the 3 line things.
Yeah.
But I know there was 3 other, it's bugging me right now. I don't know the
Oh.
other 3 words because I know one of them is applying to here. I just don't remember what the word
It'll
was.
come to you, honey, when you're not
I think,
trying.
I think she knows. But yeah, powerful source, but it's not smart. Exactly. So you got to understand that, Michelle, your ego's not smarter than you. It's just, you're just giving it more power than you right now. So, and then when the 3 and the ego work in tandem, that's how they become smart. And they think they're going to outsmart you, is they're going to use other portions of your design. But as soon as you turn, failure or fear into, this is a learning opportunity for me because I've never done it. Fear is just because you've never done it, and there might be trauma on the other side. It doesn't know, so it's going to keep you safe regardless.
That is so powerful, honey. We need to do a whole podcast on that, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think we will.
But I think I've said enough about that, Michelle. Does that help? I hope that helps, because just knowing that, I think, would help you break through the fear, just redefining it.
One of the things I will say on it is, I've noticed, is like, there's always going to be one big fear in your life. Like, your soul came here with this big desire and destiny to fulfill. And the whole journey of our lives here is getting the ego on board to do that. And you're not going to get the ego on board. You're never going to get the ego on board. So there's a trust fall that has to happen, right? But what you're doing with this 3 line is, you're like, okay, do I have all the support that I could possibly get? And then I'm going. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. See, Michelle, you already felt it. You already knew it, yeah, sometimes hearing someone else says it, just, that's the other thing about the ego, is it tries to make you question your own knowings. That was,
oh my God, that's so good.
That was a big one for me personally, is being a projector. I supposedly know it all. So I've always been made fun of for that in my life and stuff like that. So my ego had built up a protection around it. So yeah. Yeah, you're right, Michelle. Yeah, you didn't need me to say it. You knew it.
Your ego built up a protection around it for what, honey?
Well, to protect me from everything is what it was. Because I'm such an open being, I built up a lot of walls around everything.
That is so good. Okay, just the things that are like, so yeah, that's it. That's what like the things when he says things like that, I'm like, you know what? People just, that's why I echo a lot of what he says, because our brains don't really hear like things like that just one time and get it.
Yeah.
Our brains need to hear it a fucking lot for it to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're welcome, Michelle.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So it's about 11:30. I think maybe we can let everyone in on the secret. Everyone stayed here this entire time.
Yay, we have a secret to share.
So I'll go ahead and roll it out here. So we are currently formulating and working on a project that will allow you guys to actually work directly with me.
What?
I will be launching my first set of coaching relationships with you guys. Next live is when all the details will be rolled out.
Well, so we're actually going to roll them out on the email, the Monday email that comes out on my list by me. So we're going to roll out all the details of that offer on the Monday email. So you want to make sure that you are on my email list and that my emails are not going to your blocked or spam folder. And here's why. Because it's limited. We're not going to open he's a projector, right? So we're testing this out You're all formally invited. I have developed a little fractal line here on my little interwebs. You're all formally invited. If you get that email, that is your formal invitation to see if this is the right offer for you, right? Yeah, so Monday that'll be shared with everybody. And if you have any questions, you can hit us up in the DMs, or you can find me on my info@danielleeyman.com email. You can email me there. I'll forward it to Noah and he can, well, you can tell them your email. Do you want to tell
Yeah,
them your
I'm
email?
actually all official with a business email and
And
everything.
a title. Tell them your title.
She's really excited.
I
Can't you
am.
tell? So if you want to reach out to me, if you have any questions or anything, it's Eyman@danielleeyman.com. Eyman, if just in case you don't know, is Eyman. And then my official title is just executive sales and consultant.
He's my projector consultant. And I'm so grateful to have you on, honey.
Yeah.
So grateful.
It's gonna be very fun.
All right, my loves, we will see you next week. We're going to try to make this a weekly thing. But yeah, I will see you all next week.
See you guys.